Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at KBLA 1580.
Follow the leader.
Are you ready?
The station leading the way with exclusive interviews,
Follow the leader.
stimulating conversation, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
You ready?
It's the queen of royal badness.
It's time for the Raw Report with Robin Ayers.
Highlighting people and things you should know about.
Robin's got you covered. Follow Robin at Robin Ayers. You're listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Robin's got a lot to talk about.
Pump it up, you came and get it drunk with a dame, I shit it drunk, you came and get it on. More than 5 O's in your bank and get it on. Roll up like that thing can get it on. Plank to fit it on, came and get it on. Hold up, you wanna work that. Let me in, let me hurt that, murk that.
You are inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580, where we bring you the latest in entertainment news, trending topics, and interviews. I am your host, Robin Ayers, with you Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. on your drive home. Already at home. It's Friday, y'all. We did it. We are here. I hope you enjoy your weekend, your Easter Sunday weekend. We are arriving, y'all. We are arriving. I hope the week has been good for you. I feel really good today, in case you want to know. That song right there, of course, DJ A+ is always on top of it. He's playing Joe Budden. We are talking about Joe Budden today because, you know, I got some things that I have to say. I have to get some things off of my chest when it comes to Joe Budden and when it comes to black men in general. We just got to talk about that. But we do have some sad news to actually, really, really sad news to start the show with. We have to say rest in peace. My God, we say rest in peace to Oscar-winning actor, producer, director, and Hollywood icon. As you know, you've probably heard by now, Louis Gossett Jr. has passed away. He was known to many for his legendary role in Roots. But you've even seen him as recently. This is what makes me feel really good, that we just got to see him most recently in The Color Purple, the newest rendition of Color Purple. That was beautiful to see him there. But yeah, he will be missed by so many. He has done a fantastic job of keeping his name alive, his legacy alive, and just paving the way for so many. So rest in peace dearly to Louis Gossett Jr. He will be missed. Well, you guys, I don't know if you've already been listening to it or not, but you know, we've been talking about Beyonce and that Country Carter. That album has arrived. It has been trending. I've not listened to it. I told you, I've heard a few of the cuts just being on social media. People are using it as a soundtrack for their reels and things like that. But it's apparently 27 tracks long. I mean, am I right about that? That's from what I understand. It's 27 tracks long. It's a whole lot. But I have heard consistently that they agreed with Beyonce, her fans. They're saying it really isn't a country album. It really is a Beyonce album with, you know, some twists in there, some country twists. And so I guess if that's the case, I am a fan of Beyonce. Maybe I will take a listen at some other time. But if you guys have listened, let me know what you think about it so far. Ray J, shout out to Ray J, who he started his network. I told you guys that he was starting Tronics, and he has gifted his friend Safari with a $500,000 Lamborghini. Imagine having a friend like that, y'all. Where, you know, apparently Safari has helped Ray J to launch his new network. Good for him. I'm happy for him. I hope Ray J does well with this. We'll see. But he gifted the man a $500,000 Lamborghini. That must be nice. Okay. Lastly, in our updates before we get on with the show, college basketball player Jared McCain. I don't know if you heard about this, but he secured an NIL deal with a nail polish company. And people have said some things. They are talking about it because right now it's not new. It is sort of trendy, but it's not necessarily new for men to start wearing nail polish. Recently, Lil Baby, the rapper Lil Baby, was called out. He's wearing nail polish similar to the color I have on today. He's wearing nail polish in a recent video, and they are being called out. But is this a double standard here? Like, are we trying to call men out because the dude secured a great deal, a great nail polish deal? Is that a double standard? I'm going to ask you guys in just a little bit over in our YouTube chat. I see you guys checking in. Welcome on in. Let's go ahead and jump into the Rob Report, though, Andy.
Now it's time for a breakdown.
As I told you, we are talking about Joe Budden. Joe Budden is a former rapper, which, again, you heard his song at the beginning of the show. He's a former rapper turned podcast host. And might I add, he was a reality star for a little bit of time. But he's a podcast host, a very popular podcast host. He is always saying some controversial things. He is always in the mix. I often actually challenge him a lot. I push back on things that Joe Budden says. But something interesting has recently happened. There is a woman by the name of Erica Dixon, who is a co-host with Jamila Mapp on Good Moms, Bad Choices. And Erica has accused Joe Budden of making sexually inappropriate comments. But there is a twist to this. And this is where we're going to have this conversation. The twist is that there's another video that has resurfaced showing some comments that Erica was saying while Joe Budden was visiting their podcast. I'll explain it all. If it sounds a little much and a little muddy right now, I'll explain it all to you. But I have some things that I want to say about that because it bothers me. Just as a person who stands up for Black women, I stand up for Black men just as well. So I have to talk about that. We are also going to talk about Lizzo, who wrote a statement, she just put a statement out seemingly quitting the music business. Did we punk Lizzo out of the music industry? I mean, did we bully her out of the music industry? I don't know. We'll see what she has to say about it and give our thoughts on the other side with our entertainment contributor who's on the line with us today. You are listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Lil Real. Right now, I'm hanging out with Robin on the Raw Report. That's right.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough.
It's a celebration of a living legend.
It's the farewell tour.
It's Maze featuring Frankie Bello.
Thank you for the love to the
Also featuring the soul icon, Anthony Hamilton. Plus, After 7. It's a Mother's Day celebration, May 12th in the Kia Forum.
In commemoration, come in your all white.
Get tickets at Ticketmaster. Presented by the Black Promoters Collective.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a new Samsung Galaxy A15 for just $99. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah! Good talk.
Switch to Straight Talk for plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. In-store activation on single Silver Unlimited plan or higher required. Family plan discount with 4 lines all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
Linking social justice and climate justice all year long.
We're unapologetically progressive.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Your floors can go from clean to dirty fast. From juice spills, whoops, to muddy paw prints, to little sticky finger marks. Good thing your Swiffer WetJet works fast too. Swiffer WetJet easily cleans everyday messes as quick as they happen. The next mess is right around the corner. So grab your Swiffer WetJet and just spray, push, all clean.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Rob Report.
With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
And joining me today, I'm so excited to have on the line with me, Miles to Mogul. This is Miles Bloxon on the line with us today. Hello, lady. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am fantastic. I'm glad to be in conversation with you today. I know last we spoke, you were heavily involved over there at the South by Southwest, all the festivities over there, and you were hosting with Freaknik and all of that. How was that for you?
It was amazing. It was great. It was wonderful. I learned a lot from Jermaine Dupri and a lot from Uncle Luke about the good old days in the early 90s and the late 90s. I wish I was old enough to go to Freaknik. I'm mad I missed it.
You can live vicariously through that documentary. Did you enjoy it, by the way?
I thought it was amazing because I think a lot of people were afraid, Robin, that it was coming out. Like I told them, after the film during the screening, like, y'all had people's aunties, mamas, and grandmas hiding. But this film was actually really educational, right? Like you learned the history of Freaknik, like how it came about, and then how the city of Atlanta continued to grow and prosper with all these black people moving there. And like I didn't understand that some of that took place during that time period. So I think that just like understanding the history and getting to know more about the city of Atlanta was amazing. Yeah, definitely. Well, good for you. I'm glad you had that opportunity to be involved and to interview all of them over there. I know we both had Deshawn Player. Yeah. We had her. She was on the show as well. Yeah. Yes, Deshawn Player. Yeah. Thank you. She was here as well. It was great speaking with her. I know you had an opportunity to speak with her too. So shout out to all of them as well as everyone involved with Freaknik. I enjoyed it as well. So I am glad to have you back on the Raw Report. Shall we jump into some of these conversations and see what's going on? What's going on? Absolutely. Yeah. What is happening? Okay. So like, I have to say, before we get into this, I think that both of these conversations should be about protecting Black men and protecting Black women. And we'll see where the conversation goes. But let's go ahead and start with Joe Budden. As you know, he was accused of making sexually inappropriate comments to a woman named Erica Dickerson, who is one of the hosts of Good Moms, Bad Choices. And all we know is that it was reported when she said that when she had a conversation, and this is what she said. Well, okay, in a second. So what she said, she was having a conversation about Joe Budden, and she visited his podcast, and she was talking about when they were getting ready to leave, they were taking pictures. Okay, now that you have that background, let's take a listen to what she said.
We went to go take a picture, and this is before we start recording, and they line up on the skyline, and they were like, Erica, come over here and take a picture. And so I went over there, and I didn't really know where to get in between any of them. They were all kind of lined up, and I was like, I was just like, okay, I guess I'll just squeeze in here. And then out of nowhere, Joe says, you better watch out, you'll get f***ed. And I said, oh, okay. Well, I was so caught off guard, I just said, Joe, stop. Like, don't do that, come on. And he was just like, and everyone around just like didn't say anything. No one said it was just like it was just like, this happens all the time, and this is normal, and no one's going to say anything.
So that's the first thing that we heard. That's what was reported. Erica claimed that he said this. We don't have any proof of that, but I believe women when they say that things happen to them. So there's no difference here. I think he did make that remark to her. However, and if you take that at face value, Miles, I think that people would be very upset with Joe Budden, and they would believe it because he's been controversial in the past. However, recently, an old video resurfaced of a conversation that they all had because Joe Budden, he was a guest on her show on the Good Moms, Bad Choices podcast. And listen to the conversation that she was so comfortable having with Joe Budden and her co-host, and let's talk about it afterwards.
You guys know each other's types.
We're wives. Platonic wives.
Okay.
We know everything about each other. I know what her looks like. We go to play parties together.
Oh, I didn't do my disclaimer. Anything said here is for entertainment purposes only.
Same. Yeah. What he said.
All for entertainment.
I don't mean it.
I don't mean it either. I just said it.
Oh my God.
She really doesn't know what my looks like.
I don't. I've never seen it.
Not
like that. Not because I've like eaten it. Okay. No, I shouldn't start
See, now everyone's gonna think we, and everyone already thinks we, and we don't. We don't. No, we don't. And that's on.
One night you wanted to, and one of you had to say, "Oh no, we're friends."
No, we've heavily made out on a drunken night. That's because we love each other so much. But it had nothing.
Oh, great! Who's the better kisser?
We can't. We're kissing each other. Both pretty good kissers.
Oh, y'all scared. Right, forget it then. There's always a better kisser out there too. Somebody has to be the better kisser.
Well, we're equal. We're equally
Fine.
great.
I won't be divisive.
Do you want to find out?
Okay. Miles, I have a big problem with this entire situation. I want to hand this over to you, but the question really that you can, I guess, if you want to have a guide to lead you to speak however you wish, first of all, is this entire situation fair? How he's being portrayed, and if there were no footage of anything from the past conversation that they had, this resurfaced video, if there was no proof of that, could this possibly have damaged this man's career, his reputation even further, or is it not that deep? I'll let you take it from here.
Man, it's giving wanting clout. That's what it's giving right now. Like, I'm sorry. Like, the history of when the girl that's talking about everything, she was like the baby mama of Freddie Gibbs. Her dad is like NFL legend Eric Dickerson. She's been in and out of the spotlight because of her relationship with Freddie Gibbs. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I've seen her in the news before, like several times. So, like, if they had these types of interactions before, to me, it's like you already was in that playful mode with him. And it's like now, because everything's happening in the news and we're seeing what's happening in Hollywood, it's like, oh, and this happened to me too. I'm not saying that it didn't happen to her, but I think as a woman, you have to set boundaries with people. Why does he feel comfortable enough to continue to talk to you like that? Why are y'all talking to him like that on your podcast? Because then it seems like everybody's playing. So how does a dude know when not to play with you at that point if you don't set those boundaries? Because if I don't like something, I'm going to say, hey, chill out, don't do that no more. I'm not playing with you, with my homegirl on our podcast now talking about, my, body parts in front of you and flirting with you in that manner if I want to keep those boundaries. So it's like, how do you know when to be playful with somebody and not play with somebody? Like, when are we on and when are we off? And I don't think that if that video clip hadn't been put out there, I think that if that video clip hadn't been put out there, that people would definitely side with her about Joe Budden. So I just think there's a lot of different angles that we have to look at this from, and we have to stop wanting, like, attention, clicks, attention. Like, if we're really in it to be respected, let's have those conversations with the people that are disrespecting us. We don't have to do it publicly. We can pick up the phone and call Joe, because clearly you have his email or his phone number, and say, hey, yo, I don't like the way you talk to me. Or she could have texted him in the moment on their podcast, like, I'm not going to have this conversation with y'all about this because I don't feel comfortable. Something, but she wasn't giving me that. She was giving me joke, let's be sexual, let's be this way, this is great ratings, blah, blah, blah. So I just, at this point, Robin, it's like, you got to choose what type of woman you are. Is that what type of woman you are? Are you the type of woman that creates boundaries and tells people, like, you're going to respect me?
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, then you're going to have to, I'm not going to be around. So, yeah.
I thank you for saying that. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. Let me weigh in on this conversation because, I really, really have a big problem. I want to say this, though. I always believe women, and I always stand with women, especially when it comes to any sort of assault. I do, period, point blank, right?
Of course, yeah.
But to me, we're always talking about protect black women, and we're going to even get into that conversation when it comes to Lizzo. But to me, Miles, there is no such thing as protecting black women if you don't protect black men either. And with this is something, this is the reason why I feel so deeply about this is imagine before everybody had a camera, before everybody had microphones and podcasts and all the things, how many stories have we heard where women are telling about what happened with a man? Not to say it didn't happen, but is there something that prefaced that situation? Is there something? So with this particular situation right here, I know that this happens all the time, and it probably happened a lot more before the cameras and the phones and all that. It probably happened a lot more because she was clearly sexually suggestive. She even baited this man. She says, do you want to see? When he asked who's the better kisser, she says, do you want to see? Yeah. She's baiting him. So for you to have that sexually suggestive conversation with him, to me, it's like a door that's wide open. Go ahead. We are all comfortable talking about any sort of sexual content, anything, right? And then you turn right back around where I feel like you've already set the precedent. This is your show. So you already set the precedence of what it is when he visits your show, how that banter goes back and forth with one another. So when you do go and visit him, and he says something like that, which if you take that by itself, of course, it's out of line. And it might be out of line, period. Maybe he shouldn't have said that regardless. However, where I sit with it is he probably felt comfortable enough to say something like that because you've already opened the door to sexual banter with this man. And he doesn't know. So someone, I'm always reading comments and listening to what the people say. But someone had the nerve to say, well, she was saying it on camera for entertainment. His was off camera. So that makes there be a difference there. And I don't necessarily know if that applies here. Do you see in any sort of situation where the two that we have to separate the two? Do you understand what I'm saying? Is he wrong regardless? Or do you see that being a thing? The fact that when she was talking that way, they were on camera for entertainment purposes. And when he said it, he was just wrong. Do you see any validity in that?
No, I think wrong is just wrong. Whether it's on camera or off camera, it's wrong. And you can't be one way off camera. She can't be serious and be like, he shouldn't have talked to me that way. But then when the camera comes on, it's likes, clicks, and attention. Who are you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Be authentic here. Figure out, how you want to be treated. Point blank, period. It don't matter if the cameras is on or not. If the cameras is on, Miles is going to tell you no. If the cameras is off, Miles is going to tell you no. So there's no difference.
I feel so bad for, there are plenty of innocent men. I'm not saying that I agree. I'm not saying that men have not been that they're innocent. I'm not saying that, but I'm sure that they're not guilty. But I'm saying that there are plenty of innocent men whose stories have been told by women who just say things that don't show any evidence of what they did prior to what had been said or what had been done. And so when we talk about, protecting women, we always say that. We say that so much that has become the narrative of our modern day. But what part do we have to play in protecting black men? How do we protect black men, Miles? What needs to be said or done in order to protect them?
we call them up and we say, hey, that wasn't okay. Can you not do that anymore instead of putting it on social media?
Okay.
One.
Yep.
We handle all of our problems in-house, like inside of the house, instead of putting it out for millions of people to comment on. Because only the two people that really know what happened is between, like, them two. That's it. And another way that we protect black men is we also, like, form relationships with them and say, hey, when we see them doing something wrong, not even if it's just to us or to someone else, we say, hey, I don't think that was cool. Here's why. You know what I mean? Would you like that done to your sister or your mom or, you know, whatever? That's what I feel like that's what used to happen back in the day. Like, hey, let me talk to you for a second.
Yeah.
That's not okay. You know what I mean? But, like, now there's no checks and balances. There's no accountability. It's like we just let everything fly. And then when it gets a bunch of likes and clicks and views, then it's a problem, and then we want to talk about it.
You over here preaching tonight. Listen, is there is it once you have a platform and you know you brought some insight to this conversation because I did not know that about Erica Dickerson as far as her always having been in the media and you know saying certain things and being the mother of the child of Freddie Gibbs. I didn't know all of that. It's kind of like irresponsible sometimes. A friend of mine recently asked me, and I actually really appreciated the question when she asked me this. She is a woman who is in the public eye, also married to someone also who is in the public eye. And she asked me, she was like, well, on your show, you know a lot of people. And I do. I know a lot of people in this industry. But she says, how do you keep your integrity? Right. And I was just like, you know what? I have a lot of friends in this industry, and what has helped me build a great reputation and great name for myself is my integrity. So why would I ever get access to this microphone and then waste all of that and then do something or say something that's going to go against my integrity? I never would. Right. So someone like me or in a position like me is going to hold true to that integrity no matter what. It is not about clicks and bait and sound bites, and it's not about any of that for me. It is about maintaining my integrity. When we come forward though, Miles, I got to ask you, how do you, in someone like in like Erica's position, how do you keep your integrity like you just mentioned, even if she didn't have Joe Budden's information, or I'm sure she did. I'm sure she could get access to him. Is this just a bad look for her in moving forward? And what do you tell people like you're also in this media space. What do you tell people is the best way to go? How to maintain your integrity when dealing with things like this, even when it comes to a personal sort of attack on you. Think about that. We'll talk about that on the other side. We're also going to get to this Lizzo conversation because she says she quit the music industry. We'll see about that. Right now, though, we've got news, traffic, and sports. You are listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
What's up, people? It's your boy Harmony H. Money Samuels, and I'm here on the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580. What's up?
More of the Raw Report with Robin Ayers when we come forward.
I'm Tyreek Wynn. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Travis Scott is asking to be dropped from the lawsuit over the deadly 2021 Astroworld Festival. A crowd rush at the concert resulted in the deaths of 10 people, including a 9-year-old. Scott's attorney filed a motion for summary judgment on Monday. The Dayton, Ohio unit of the NAACP is helping out local families in need this Easter weekend. The organization is partnering with Kroger representatives to give away hams. The distribution is happening at the NAACP offices on Salem Avenue. All families are welcome to stop by and pick up ham while supplies last. Musician Pharrell Williams is reportedly working on a musical that will be loosely based on his experience growing up in Virginia Beach. Deadline reports that Williams would produce the film, which will be set in 1977 and take inspiration from his time living in the Atlantis apartments. That's the latest. I'm Tyreek Wynn on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Travel safe this weekend. Over in Griffith Park, you might see some traffic in recovery coming from Forest Lawn Drive as the stall was cleared from the 134 East after the 5. In Monrovia, a 15-minute traffic jam is ahead on the 210 West between Huntington Drive and Lake Avenue. Hit the brakes over in Pasadena and watch for a slight slowing coming from the 210 East between Rosemead Boulevard and Irwindale Avenue. Back in Hollywood, a 25-minute traffic jam still runs heavy on the 101 South between Hollywood Boulevard and the 110 Pasadena Freeway.
Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Here's the schedule tomorrow for the USC and UCLA women's basketball teams in the NCAA tournament. A Sweet 16 matchup for both teams. Saturday morning at 10, UCLA takes on defending national champion LSU in the Albany Regional. ABC Channel 7 will have live coverage. Will be interesting to see if distractions catch up to LSU. Their coach Ken Mulkey made a lot of noise this week complaining about a story in the Washington Post that hasn't come out yet. USC and Juju Watkins will play Baylor tomorrow at 2:30 in the Portland Regional. Live coverage on ESPN. Watkins is averaging 25.5 points and 4.5 assists in USC's first two tournament games. Tomorrow night at 7 here on KBLA. Join me and my co-host Neil Scarborough for Out of Bounds. We'll recap the USC and UCLA games and the latest on the NCAA men's tournament. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at KBLA 1580.
Follow the leader.
Are you ready?
The station leading the way with exclusive interviews,
Follow the leader.
stimulating conversation, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
This Easter, March 31st at 11:07 a.m., ECM will be at the Redondo Beach Performing Arts Center. We are inviting everyone to meet us there as we will be presenting the Black Resurrection Experience. What good is Jesus' resurrection if we are still living in cultural graves? ECM will present a stage play production that will address Black dignity, Black worth, Black unity, Black ownership, Black vote, police brutality, generational wealth, mental health, Black power through Jesus' power, and most of all, your purpose in life through the murder of Jesus Christ. And we will tell this entire story with singing, dancing, acting, rapping, with a little bit of preaching from yours truly, Pastor Shep. The Black Resurrection Experience. Easter morning at the Redondo Beach Performing Arts Center. It's totally free, so come get your freedom.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007, they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA CAN believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Keeping you informed about what's really going on.
Who's got next?
And what not to miss in entertainment. You're listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Mom, can I hear the bye, please?
And there I was, tangled up in marigold. We were listening to the Reverend children singing. as the garden river flows while the August light becomes a golden evening.
You are inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. That's that new Beyonce featuring her daughter, Rumi, Protector. Wow. Very on point, very on theme as always, Andy. All right. This is one of the songs that's circulating right now. There's a few, but one of the songs circulating off of her new album, Cowboy Carter. I see we have a call, and I want to. Okay. Well, if you guys are just joining us, by the way, we are talking about protecting Black men and protecting Black women. Okay, and we are talking about Joe Budden and the fact that I believe this man needs to be protected because he was accused of making sexually inappropriate comments. However, there was a resurfaced video footage where he was sort of baited into sexually suggestive conversation. And I feel like he just kept the banter going because that's what was opened up to him. That's my thoughts on the matter. We are talking with Miles Blockson. Before we move on, I briefly want to talk about this Lizzo situation. She says that she is quitting. Basically, she says, you know, she's over it. She's over all of the things that people have said. And she says she's out. She's quitting the music industry. I do understand for years now, people have said things. She says she's getting tired of putting up with being dragged by everyone in her life and on the internet. And all she wants is to make music and make people happy and help the world be a little bit better than how she found it. She says, but I'm starting to feel like the world doesn't want me in it. I'm constantly up against up against lies being told about me for clout and views, being the butt of the joke every single time because of how I look. My character being picked apart by people who don't know me and disrespecting my name. I didn't sign up for this stuff. She says, I quit. Did we just basically bully her out, Miles, of the industry?
Oh, man. Not again.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think that, like, when you go into the industry, right, like, I think everybody hears from different people, like, your life is going to change. Mm-hmm. You know, you need thicker skin. You're going to have to do this. You're going to have to do that. That's all the things, right? They're just telling you all of this advice, and you're probably thinking, like, I'll be fine. I was built for this. I'm a star, you know, and I think when you actually get in it and you have to deal with all this stuff, it's way harder than you could have ever imagined. There's nothing that can prepare you for that. So if this is her choice and she's making this decision with sound, like, mind and body, like, I'm 1,000% for it. Maybe she just needs a mental health break. I mean, a mental health break right now, right? Like, she might just need a moment to woosah, take a breath, travel to Bali or something, eat, pray, love, do her thing. I don't know, right?
Yeah, that's possible.
Right? But everybody needs that. It's a lot. Like, you can't turn social media off. You can't turn it off. You can't turn the comments off. You can't turn the internet off. So, like, for these new celebrities, they have to be on all the time. And if you're not strong and if you can't not read the comments, if you cannot be tuned and tapped in, if you don't know how to, like, step away from all of that, that could be a lot for anybody, let alone like one person. That could be a lot for a team of people working together, like getting all of that at one time, you know? So I think
agree.
Yes is the short answer, is that we did run her off.
Short answer,
but the other one is like she's got to decide what she wants to do, how she wants to live the course of her life. So
definitely agree. I think that when it comes to artists who want to be out there and they want to be known, it's two different things. Some people want to be superstars. Lizzo was on the path to becoming a huge star. She is still, I think, I would consider her A-list celebrity. But she was on that path. There are other people who really want to just do their artistry and stick to that. And they're okay with not being as known, but, you know, they may have their fans and they're able to survive with the money that they make without making millions and millions and traveling the world. And, you know, what I would hope for Lizzo is maybe she could split the two. I don't know if you could split the difference. I don't know at this point because she's already a star. But it's like, I enjoy her music, some of it. I don't have all of her catalog or anything, but some of the music that she's put out, I am a fan of. I also advocate for her because, she has been bullied and body shamed and all of that. And so I'm rooting for the woman. I don't want her to quit the business per se, but I think like you said, Miles, that was perfectly stated. Maybe you need an eat, pray, love situation, take a little quick break, get away from the world, shut everything down for a little bit and maybe go to therapy or something like that. But don't stop giving the people music because that's what God gifted you with. And people obviously love her music. So right now it's split though, 50-50. You guys are saying the question is, should Lizzo reconsider quitting the music industry? 50% says, yeah, she should reconsider because she makes great music. 50% said, if you can't handle the heat, get out the kitchen. All right.
We know that.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, Miles, this has been a lovely conversation with you. I truly appreciate you always for coming on to the Raw Report and being in discussion with me. Can you let everybody know where they can find you online?
Yes, you can find me at Miles to Mogul. That's MILESTOMOGUL on Instagram and milestomogul.com. And thank you for having me, Robin.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And I'll speak with you, sooner than later. Miles?
Yeah.
Miles to Mogul? Okay. Enjoy your night.
Thank you.
I was getting ready to go in. Miles to Mogul. Okay, I always enjoy a conversation with her. Well, who we do have on the line with us calling in, I'm so excited to talk about. As you guys know, we have talked about our Who's Got Next lives, and it's been really great. It's been received very well by people on social media, and tonight I am so excited because we have Alexis Rivera. She is the prophetic poet, pardon me. Hello to you, Alexis. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you so very much. I am over here looking at your page, and you seem so beautiful and so much peace. You actually have a book out called Precious Moments of Solace. Wow. Is that out already?
Yeah, it's on Amazon. Precious Moments of Solace. It's a poetry book. I also do photography, so I kind of wrote journal entries based upon the pictures that I took. So it's both poetry and visual arts book.
Nice, very nice. How do you achieve your precious moments of solace? Is that through photography or outside of photography? Do you have moments where you figured it out? Because that's something that I'm always looking to find out from other people. Like I've got my own sort of thing where I'm like, these are the things that I do, but I'm always interested in hearing about other people. How do you capture that for yourself?
For me, it's through writing. Sometimes I'll see pictures, or when I'm going through rough times, I'll just get out my pen or get out my voice memos and just start reciting poetry off rip. So for me, it's writing, journaling, and that helps me process my emotions, process what's going on inside, but also it helps me be a better person on the outside.
Yeah. Well, I love that. And I could tell that you're a beautiful and better person on the inside as well. You're a follower of Christ. Seems like you speak very well, to the public, and that's what you want to put into the world, which I absolutely love. That is something that, I try to do as well. And I guess we all try to do it in our own way, but yours comes across and it comes through very, very well. So I definitely appreciate that. So you do poetry. Part of your book does it have poetry in it, as well as the photography in it, and some of your journaling, some of your writings? Is that what it includes?
Yeah, so it's mainly poetry.
Okay.
And then sprinkles of photos and sprinkles of journal entries that gets you thinking. It asks you questions, but also helps you process your own thoughts in life and just experiences. It's based on mental health, so it's everything I've been through and helping someone else to overcome as well through poetry form.
Very nice. What is the goal for this? It's rare. I guess maybe there are. I used to follow a few people back in the day who were really successful as poets, very successful. They had gotten on TV. You know, there was like the Deaf Poetry show back in the day. What is the goal for you with this? Obviously, you have your book, and I see that you do performances. Is it to take it further, like as a poet artist? Is that a thing? I believe that's a thing. Is that the goal, or is it more so for you, for your circle of followers, your circle of friends?
I would say I want to take it a step further and be able to glorify God most importantly through everything that I do, through poetry, and really just shed light to people, because there's so many people going through dark times and in dark spaces in their mind, and I want to really help them overcome to become more of who God called them to be. So I want to take it a step further and really just know and write more poetry books, but also write more books about how to overcome mental struggles that we have that no one really talks about. So it's much deeper than just, yes, I'm a poet, but I'm also a writer that writes books and stories and films that really help people overcome mental struggles.
I love that. I know that oftentimes, you know how they tell kids, they used to say this a lot back in the day. They were like, if you want to learn something, or if you want to remember something, put it to music, and then you'll get people on it right away. Is that something that you've considered? I don't know. I mean, maybe that goes more into the lane of like rapping, and maybe you are a rapper and we just haven't talked about that yet. I don't know. But you ever think about that part, just, you know, putting your poetry down to music?
Yeah, so I have a song out. It's called The Beginning and the End. And that I started off writing a poem with a friend, and that turned into almost like just a freestyle, like rap almost. So it's a song with like music in the background. So I definitely want to put more of my poetry out there that has like music in the background too. So that's definitely the goal. But I do have a song. It's called The Beginning and the End.
Well, I don't know if that's the song you're going to perform for us, but I'm looking forward to hearing that. So when we come forward, I know that you are going to do a freestyle for us. Am I right about that?
Yes, freestyle, just off the cuff.
Okay, Alexis, on this show now, we play every day. We play somebody who's got next, and so we're gonna let you have the mic when we come forward, so you can, you know, do your freestyle and let us know if you got next. So you just gotta hold on the line, and we will get to it on the other side. You are listening to KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
Hey, I'm Damian Young. I'm chilling with Robin on the Raw Report.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580. Imagine with me here for a minute the most beautiful panoramic setting. Maybe it's an endless ocean, waves crashing on a beach, or a crystal clear mountain lake, peaceful and quiet. Or maybe it's just little kids playing in the park down the street. Wherever your imagination takes you, now imagine right smack in the middle of this perfect picture, a piece of litter. Just one piece right there in the middle of it all. Doesn't exactly fit, does it? In fact, even though it's just one piece, now it's all you can see. That one piece ruins everything. And that's the thing about litter. It doesn't take much to ruin everything. One thing's for sure, it simply does not belong anywhere in California. So here's the good news. If we work together, we will change it. We don't have to let litter, even just one piece, ruin your perfect picture. Not anymore, not ever again. Clean California, zero litter is the goal. Brought to you by Caltrans and CleanCA.com.
If you're looking for the most epic place on Earth, let's start at the base of a massive waterfall. Then trek through the thick jungle. Then climb to the peak of a snowy mountaintop. Then once you get there, keep going. Because with intelligent 4x4 and 7 drive modes and a Nissan Pathfinder, the search is the real adventure.
Available feature. Intelligent 4x4 cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
If you say you care about the community, you have to also care about the climate. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Rob
Report. With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
And we are on the line with Alexis Riva. She is the prophetic poet. She is a writer. She has a book out. She follows Jesus. You know, I love that. She also does photography, but she's going to bless us with a freestyle of her poetry. And Alexis, I will turn it right over to you.
Thank you so much. But this one, so everything that I perform, everything is freestyle. Nothing is written down or anything. So, but this one is called Restored. I know life seems to knock you down and you seem to not get back up again, but I need you to look again at the mirror and remind yourself that you are the head and never the tail. You are above and never beneath. You are the one and true one that God looks at every day and says, I have called you, I have chosen you, and I am picking you back up so you can do everything that God, I am calling you to do. You are brand new. You are different. You are made whole this time, and everything before you doesn't matter this time. Everything ahead of you matters more than what's on the sides of you. I need to remind you of who you are. You are the apple to God's eye. You are his most prized possession. He loves you more than you can even imagine. You see, everything before you is greater than you can even believe, because I know life one time has knocked you down so much that you felt as though you cannot get back up again. But I need you to believe one more time and know that everything that God has given you, projects he's downloaded within you, even the things that you see visually that you didn't tell anyone, you need to write them down and focus on pushing them out, because there's fear that you feel when you see something you feel like you can't do. But I need you to know that it's okay. Take one foot in front of the other, and then by that time you're running into destiny, because you are doing everything God called you to do and being who he's created you to be. Just know, even in this moment, that you are everything he's called and created you to be. It just doesn't seem like that, because life one time has knocked you down, that you feel like you can't get back up again. But every time you think, I can't do it, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. So move along, move ahead. Don't look back, because you will turn into a pillar of salt like Lot's wife did. So you need to look ahead and believe and receive, because you already are who God called you to be. So this time, let go of fear and the doubt that strangled you into believing you are your past. You are restored this time. You are made new this time. There's no turning back this time. It's time to move ahead. Move ahead and believe that you are already who God called you to be. But this time, Let go of the fear. Let go of the doubt. Let go of what's behind you and turn ahead to everything that's ahead of you, because you are about to receive the most greatest thing that you can even fathom. So just believe. This time is a new time. This time is new. This time is new. This time is new. I need you to know that this time is new. You are restored. No looking back, no looking back, no turning back. This time, it's the right time. Just believe, and you'll receive. Thank you. The prophetic poet.
Yay! The prophetic poet. Are you a prophet? Wait, I hear you breaking up a little bit, Alexis.
I said I am. That's one of the giftings God has given me, to prophesy to people. And so whatever I see visually in my head, I just say it. So I know I have the gifting to see, but I also have the gifting to prophesy into people's lives.
Amen to that, Alexis. Well, congratulations on all that you are doing. One of my favorite things that you said was you are the apple of God's eye. That stuck out to me. I believe that. I received that. And I appreciate you. Where can everybody find you online, and where can they find your book as well?
So you can find Precious Moments of Solace on Amazon by Alexis Riva. And then you can follow me on Instagram at I am Alexis Riva. That's R-I-V as in Victor A. So it's I am Alexis Riva.
Beautiful, beautifully done. Thank you so much for calling into the Raw Report. Alexis Riva got next. I appreciate you so much, and enjoy the rest of your evening, Alexis.
Likewise. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Yes, Fahima Seck says fire to the sister. She's a wordsmith. Well, I love that. I love it. And I love that we had somebody different. We had a little, yesterday we had a song from Zap. Today we had poetry from the prophetic poet, Alexis Riva. So we're going to keep that going, of course. We have a lot more in store for the Who's Got Next artists. And again, I appreciate the submissions that you guys send to me as well. It's always received. Try to make it clean, though, if you can, so we don't have to go searching for clean versions. Well, you guys, it's been a great week. It's Easter Sunday weekend, though, so have yourself a beautiful Easter Sunday. I hope you enjoy it. Resurrection Sunday. For those of you who are going to church, make sure it's good. And we'll be right back here on Monday. I'm excited about that. My name is Robin Ayers. And remember, today and every single day forward, be a blessing.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Tyreek Wynn. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Travis Scott is asking to be dropped from the lawsuit over the deadly 2021 Astro